I'm going to show you how easy it is to get off to a sprint start with Audio Note Taker and a few steps needed to get going. To sprint start, I'm going to show you how to record, highlight, listen, and add notes. So let's get started with the training so you can learn just how easy it is. Welcome to Sonocent Audio Note Taker. Now let's set the scene and pretend we're walking into our first class of semester, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to get started using Sonocent. When you first launch Audio Note Taker, you'll see the Home tab, which features several quick start project options. Very simply, to start recording, you would select the blank project option to open up a new workspace. Now you can capture everything that your lecturer says just by hitting the record button in the top left corner of the screen. By doing this, you are ensuring that everything is being captured and that you will not miss anything said during the lecture. As you can see, instead of displaying the audio in one long timeline, what we do is break this up into smaller bars of information, each one representing a spoken phrase, so that you can see when your lecturers are speaking and when they are not. That's why there are gaps in between the recording, like this one. So every time your lecturer stops talking, Sonocent will show you that break in the recording. Great! So you can see the audio separated into bars, but what good is that to you? Well, you can colour code each audio bar and categorise it. Just like you would use a highlighter pen in written text, use Audio Note Taker's colour key to make life easier for you in the future by marking the notes that you want to come back to as you hear them live in class. So, once you hear something important, simply click the Important key on the right-hand toolbar and the software starts highlighting the bars of audio. Just click the colour again to then stop the highlighting. You can also do the same thing if you don't understand something. The idea is to add visual pointers so that when you come back to a file at a later date, you can jump straight back to the relevant bits. This way you don't have a long recording to listen to again. You have a mix of notes in different colours representing different categories that are so much more meaningful to you. It is useful to note that you have the choice of adding colour highlights either by clicking the colour key on the right-hand toolbar or tapping the number shortcut on your keyboard. You will notice the numbers displayed just to the right of the colour key list. Choose what's easiest for you as you make your notes your own. So, what happens when the lecturer moves on to a new PowerPoint slide or starts discussing a new topic? Well, you can separate your project into different sections to help organise your work that bit further. Think of it just like adding a new paragraph within an essay. To do this, simply click the Section button to add a new section break. It's really easy to do with a click of a button, and you will also have the option to press Enter on your keyboard, like so. Again, choose what's easiest for you. There is no wrong way of adding a section break, and you can continue to do the colour highlights throughout the class as normal. You can even colour entire sections, for example if you'll need to refer to them for an assignment or an exam. Or if you happen to drift off, then you can colour this as a reminder to come back and revisit this when you are feeling more focused. When your class ends, hit the Stop button in the top left corner to stop the recording, and don't forget to label your project. You can enter title, topic, and speaker against each project. Once you have labelled your project, always remember to then save your work. So, now at the end of every class, there is no stress about missing any vital information, as now you have all of your audio organised and colour-coded so that you can easily review all of the information at a later date. So, what then happens after class? Well, at any future date, you can open up the software and select Open Project on the left-hand side of the home page. You can then search for any saved projects or open up a recent project from the list displayed. Once you have opened your project, just hit the play button in the top toolbar to start listening back to the audio and hit it again to pause. The great thing about Sonocent is that you can jump straight back to any part of your audio just by placing your cursor at a particular part and press play, so that you can skip straight back to any parts that may not have made much sense during class. Now as you're listening back to the audio in your own time, you can begin to add your own notes. As soon as you start typing, your text automatically appears in the text pane. Note how the text pane becomes active as soon as you start typing, as the header pane is shown blue. To quickly jump back over to the audio pane, press Enter on your keyboard, or simply click back into the audio pane to make it active again. Once you have finished adding in your notes, always remember to label and save your project before you close down the software so that you can easily access this again in the future. So there you have it, guys. That's all you need to know to get started using Sonocent Audio Note Taker. Just remember, record, highlight, listen, and add notes. It's that easy.